Your reality isn't the struggle of the night. It's the triumph of the moonlight, where God's vision for you shines eternal. Your moon is a miracle, a living proof that God can turn shadows into serenity. Let's talk about Theo, a chef from Denver who dreamed of cooking meals for the elderly but felt his lack of resources dimmed his light. Years of financial strain kept his glow faint. A message like this changed his perspective. He felt God whisper, "Glow my moon." Theo wrote his goal, serve 1 meal in a month. He reached out to a senior center for needs, and he took a step by planning a menu. Today, his meals nourish dozens, a lunar light of care. Theo's fear of scarcity became the crater that defined his radiance. Like Leela's story, his shows what happens when you let God light your moon. If this is igniting your spirit, type, "I'm God's lunar light" in the comments again. Let your declaration glow, uniting you with thousands of chosen ones whose moons are forming a sky of hope. Share this video with someone lost in their darkness, because your share could be the light they need to find their way. Your reality is flipping tonight, chosen one. The moon is full, the light is steady, and your divine moment is here. Keep glowing, because the radiance you cast will change everything. The mountain pass is glowing under the rising sun, chosen one, and the trail you're blazing is becoming a highway of hope, a testament to God's unshakable promise. You're not just climbing, you're pioneering a path that will guide countless others to their own summits. Your every step a declaration that this is the night your reality flips forever. That radiant door, pulsing with your name in celestial light, stands open, a gateway to a destiny that will reverberate across time. You've been given 3 keys to mark this trail. Write 1 goal for the next 7 days. Reach out to someone you need to forgive or reconnect with, and take 1 tangible step toward a dream you've delayed. These steps are your trail markers, anchoring your faith in God's divine plan. Now let's ascend higher into the truth that your reality isn't tethered to the valleys of your struggles. It's lifted by the winds of God's eternal vision, propelling you to become a catalyst for a movement that will awaken the world. This is the night your spiritual awakening becomes a rallying cry, igniting a revolution of faith that starts with you. Picture a vast horizon where the first rays of dawn kiss a field of wild flowers, each bloom swaying in a gentle breeze, vibrant with life and purpose. That field is your future, chosen one, a canvas of possibilities painted by God's hand, bursting with beauty that your trials could never diminish. Each wildflower is a dream, a calling, a prayer answered, standing tall despite the storms that tried to uproot them. Psalm 90:12 says, "The righteous will flourish like a palm tree, they will grow like a cedar of Lebanon." You're flourishing now, not because your past was perfect, but because God's grace is. The enemy's been sowing weeds, distractions, discouragements, doubts, that your dreams are too wild to grow. But God's cultivating your field, and those 3 steps are your way of tending it, nurturing the blooms of your divine purpose. Why have you felt like your dreams were wilting? Because the enemy knows the power of your flourishing. He's seen the field God's preparing, a legacy that will outlast you, and he's terrified of its beauty. He's thrown droughts of despair, financial pressures, relational rifts, moments when you felt your purpose was slipping away. But tonight, God is watering your field, declaring that your dreams are alive and ready to bloom. Think of Hannah, barren and mocked, who prayed fervently in 1 Samuel 1:11 for a child. Her tears weren't wasted. They were the rain that brought forth Samuel, a prophet who changed Israel's course. Your struggles, too, are the rain for your wild flowers, and those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out, taking action, are your way of tending the field, trusting God to make it flourish. Let's meet Jonah, a mechanic from Tulsa who felt his dream of starting a car repair shop for low-income families was choked by years of working for others and fearing failure. The weeds of self-doubt kept him from acting. One night, a message like this stirred his soul. He felt God say, "Tend your field." Jonah followed the steps. He wrote his goal to open the shop in a year, reached out to a business owner for advice, and took a step by researching small business loan. Today, his shop serves dozens, offering affordable repairs and dignity to those in need. Jonah's fear of failure became the fertilizer for a flourishing field. His story, like Lila's, Ezra's, Ava's, Noah's, Liam's, Sophia's, Eleanor's, Marcus's, Clara's, David's, Sarah's, Jamer's, Anna's, and Michael's. Isn't it verified? But it's a seed for what happens when you nurture God's vision. If this message is blooming in your heart, type "My field is flourishing" in the comments below. Your declaration is a petal, joining thousands of chosen ones whose fields are bursting with life. Share your comment to scatter seeds of hope, because your bloom could inspire someone else to tend their own field. You're part of a holy garden, a remnant of believers whose flourishing lives are transforming the earth. Why does this field feel so vital? Because your flourishing isn't just for you, it's for the world hungering for hope. John 15:8 says, "This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples." Your dreams, your purpose, your breakthrough, they're the fruit that feeds others, proving God's power to a skeptical world. The enemy's been ruthless, sowing thorns to choke your growth. Deadlines looming, health challenges lingering, dreams fading into shadows. But those are just weeds, meant to distract you from the wildflowers God's cultivating. Your reality isn't the thorns, it's the field of promise, blooming with every step you take. Those 3 steps are your way of pulling weeds, making room for God's glory to shine through your life. Let's dispel another lie, that your field is too small to matter. The enemy wants you to believe your dreams are insignificant, that your efforts won't feed anyone beyond yourself. But God's fields are designed to multiply. Consider the mustard seed in Matthew 13:31, tiny, yet growing into a tree where birds find shelter. Your dream, no matter how small it seems, is a seed with world-changing potential. Those 3 steps are your way of planting that seed, trusting God to make it grow. Write that goal to sow your vision. Reach out to someone to share the harvest. Take that step to let your dream take root. These actions make you a gardener of God's promise, cultivating a field that will nourish generations. If this message is stirring your soul, consider supporting our mission through Super Thanks below. Your generosity helps carry this divine call to others whose fields are parched, longing for the rain of hope. Every seed you sow waters another wildflower, but whether you give or not, your presence here is a divine planting. You're here because God's cultivating your reality, and it's time to embrace the power of your personal transformation. Imagine a marketplace bustling with people, each drawn to your field's vibrant blooms, their hearts stirred by the beauty of your faith. That's your influence, chosen one. A harvest that draws others to God's table. You've weathered droughts of doubt, pests of criticism, and storms of failure. But every time you kept praying, every moment you chose hope over despair, you were tending your field. Those 3 steps are your way of sharing the harvest, inviting others to taste God's goodness. Your reality isn't the struggle of the planting, it's the joy of the bloom. Where God's vision for you bursts into color, your field is a miracle, a living proof that God can make deserts bloom. Let's talk about Mia, a seamstress from Raleigh who dreamed of designing clothes for women in shelters, but felt her skills were too modest to make a difference. Years of low confidence kept her field barren. A message like this changed her perspective. She felt God whisper, "Your blooms are enough." Mia wrote her goal: donate 1 outfit by month's end. She reached out to a shelter coordinator to offer her services, and she took a step by sketching a design. Today, her designs clothe dozens, restoring confidence to women in need. Mia's fear of insignificance became the seed for a flourishing field. Like Jonah's story, hers shows what happens when you tend God's garden. If this is igniting your spirit, type "My field is flourishing" in the comments again. Let your declaration bloom, uniting you with thousands of chosen ones whose fields are painting the earth with hope. Share this video with someone whose dreams are wilting, because your share could be the rain they need to grow. Your reality is flipping tonight, chosen one. The field is blooming, the harvest is ready, and your divine moment is here. Keep tending, because the fruit you bear will change everything. The wild flowers of your field are swaying in the breeze, chosen one, their vibrant petals catching the light of a dawn that heralds your transformed reality. You're not just tending a garden, you're cultivating a movement, a living testament to God's promise that this is the night your reality flips forever. That radiant door, glowing with your name in celestial script, stands open, a portal to a divine purpose that will ripple through eternity. You've been given 3 keys to nurture this harvest. Write 1 goal for the next 7 days. Reach out to someone you need to forgive or reconnect with, and take 1 tangible step toward a dream you've delayed. These steps are your tools, sowing seeds of faith into the fertile soil of God's plan. Now, let's dive deeper into the truth that your reality isn't anchored in the fleeting shadows of your circumstances. It's rooted in the eternal bedrock of God's calling, urging you to become a cornerstone for a revival that will awaken hearts across the globe. This is the night your spiritual awakening becomes a foundation, building a legacy that will stand the test of time. Picture a mighty cathedral rising from a rocky plain, its stones hewn from the earth, each one placed with care to form a sanctuary that draws souls to worship. That cathedral is you, chosen one, a structure of faith, built from the raw materials of your life's trials, standing tall as a beacon of God's glory. Every stone is a moment you overcame, every rejection you endured, every dream you held on to, every prayer you whispered through tears. 1 Peter 2:5 declares, "You also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood." Your life is God's construction site, and every hardship has been a stone shaped to fit His divine blueprint. The enemy's been trying to scatter your stones, doubts that weaken your resolve, fears that crack your foundation, distractions that stall your progress. But God's the master builder, and those 3 steps are your mortar, binding your faith into a structure that will shelter others. Why have you felt like your life was a pile of rubble? Because the enemy knows the power of your cathedral. He's seen the sanctuary God's building through you, a place of hope, healing, and revival. and he's terrified of its impact. He's thrown chaos to halt construction, financial strain, emotional wounds, moments when you felt your purpose was crumbling. But tonight, God is laying the next stone, declaring that your struggles are the building blocks of something eternal. Think of Solomon, tasked with building the temple in 1 Kings 6:7.